Hi guys, so in this video I will be showing you how to create your first Android application. So I have already installed Android Studio into my computer, and so now we are going to create our first application. So I have opened Android Studio, and all you have to do is click on this start a new Android Studio project. So then Android will give you us this window where you have several tabs, so you can choose any of these tabs and see what you have inside of it. So there are some templates that you can use to develop Android applications for like watches, TVs, things like that. But I'm using phone and tablet tab to make my first Android Studio application. So even though there are several templates that we can use, for this application I'll be using an empty activity. So I press next here, and now we have to give a name for an application. So okay, I have given my name as my first Android app. So this name is quite important because if you're uploading your applications to the Play Store, then this will be the name that you will see. And Android has already generated a package name for us, and this will be the place that we are going to save our application. And here Android supports two programming languages now, Java and Kotlin, but for this video series we'll be using Java as our programming language. And also here we have to choose the minimum API level that our application supports. So which means our application will run on any device which has API level 23 to 29 from Marshmallow to Upper, but it won't run on any API level which is less than 23, which means in Lollipop or in KitKat or Jelly Bean. So our application won't run on any of those devices. So we're gonna choose Marshmallow as our minimum API here, and I'm gonna finish this. So Android will start building our application within few seconds. Okay, so it's loading the project, and Android gives us tips daily, so you can just go next and previous tips and see what are there to get into your knowledge. But let's just build our application now. So this whole process takes a bit of time. Okay, now our application has been built, and Android Studio automatically load our main activity and activity main XML files to the code editor. So here we have this main activity where this is the backend code, and this is the method that will get called when you first when you run your application. And here in this method call, you have the activity main mentioned, which is the layout for this activity, as we talked in our first tutorial. Java Android is a mixture of Java and XML. So this is the Java class, and this is the XML layout, which refers the layout the UI of our application. So for now, for this main activity, we have activity main XML, where you can find it in here in the rest folder, layout, activity main XML. So at the moment we have hello world text in here as this text, and also this is the design view for our XML layout, and here we have the tool palette, so you can drag and drop anything, buttons, image views, or anything into this area. So yeah, that's all we have in this design view. So you can go to the text view also, where you can change the UI from XML. So here in the outer level we have a constraint layout, and there are some configurations that Android has already done for us, and here it mentions that this layout has the width of match parent and height of match parent, which means this layout takes the whole width of the screen size, which means this is the width and this is the height of the layout. And inside of that layout we have a text view. So for that text view we have two layout height and width attributes, which has the value wrap content. So wrap content means it's wrapping the width and height according to the text. So this is the width and this is the height of the text area. Okay, so inside that we have the text hello world. We will change this into something else now. So I want to change this text into something else, but I won't write it in here. We have this folder called values inside the rest folder, and inside of it we have strings XML. So when you're indicating anything, when you're writing any string values to your application or giving any names to your layouts, the best way to do it is to mention it in here and use that string name in your XML file. So I'll do an example for you. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste, and I'm gonna give a name like welcome message, and I'm gonna type welcome to Android. Okay, so I'm gonna change the hello world text to welcome to Android by using this string name. So all you have to do now is go to your activity main XML, delete what you have here, and we put this mark. So when you put that mark, Android identifies that you're going to use something from the string file. So it gives you these suggestions. So the last suggestion is our attribute that we have mentioned in the strings.xml file. So I'm going to use it here. So when you go to the design view now, you can see that your text has been replaced. So yeah, your text has replaced the hello world text. So yeah, so that's all I'm gonna do in my first application. So I just wanted to show you now how to set up your AVD to run your application. So in this small icon you can select this one. Okay, so we have already created one AVD for earlier, so I'm just going to delete it and create something new. Okay, when you first open your AVD manager, if you don't have any virtual device with you, then you will get this screen. So you have to click on this button, and for this video series I will be using Nexus 4 as my virtual device. So I'm going to select that and press next. Okay, here we have a set of API levels that we wish to add to our device. So I have already downloaded Marshmallow, so I'm going to use Marshmallow as my device's API, but you can choose any of these, but you can't choose Lollipop here because you have mentioned that when you're creating your application, the minimum API level as the Marshmallow. So it will run on any device which has API levels like this, but not on Lollipop. So I'm going to use Marshmallow. So if you haven't downloaded Marshmallow, then this link will appear on your window. You just have to click on it and download. And here it is. This is our AVD name, and also these options are there. If you want to change anything for the device or for the API, you can just go back and do that. And this is the startup orientation. When you're starting your emulator, this will be the orientation. So I'm going to choose portrait here, and this is the graphic settings. So I'm going to choose automatic and enable device from. I'm not going to change anything here. I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm finishing everything. So now the Android will create our virtual device for us. So these processes take a bit time if you're doing these things for the very first time, but when you're creating new AVD emulators, and when you're running applications constantly, then the processes won't take much time. Okay, now we have successfully created our first virtual device. So okay, all the details about the virtual device is mentioned in here. So now we have to do is run our application. So you can see this green arrow button, so you just have to click on that and your application will run in your emulator. So let's give a bit of time for our Android Studio to set everything up and run our application inside our emulator. Okay, now our emulator has started and it's coming online, so we have to wait a bit until it turns on. Okay, now application is started, our emulator has been started, and within few seconds our application will run in our emulator. So okay, within few seconds our application has successfully installed into our emulator. So here's the text that we have included. Welcome to Android. So that is all for this video. In my next video I will be explaining you guys what is actually happening inside when you're creating an application and running into a new emulator, the theoretical basics. So let's meet in our next video. So thank you for watching.